Someone recently commented on my channel saying, Mitch, how can you stay so optimistic about NIO when the share price keeps tanking? And what I said to this individual was, it's because I don't look at the stock price. It does not bother me. What I look at is what the company is doing. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. To set the stage for this video, I would like to show you guys a little clip of Stellantis CEO talking about the future of EVs, of car manufacturers on the whole, and what's his opinion. Oddly enough, it was very similar to what King William Lee said in the past. And I want to thank Miro Shahev for this information. Shout out to my subscriber, Miro Shahev. Take a look at this video, guys.
What do you see?
What I see is that to make the EV spark, you need to align a certain number of stars. You need, of course, clean energy. You need a very dense charging network that people can see so that they remove range anxiety. They need a great product with a very high range, right? Like the products we are bringing to the market, 500 miles of range. That should be enough. And you need affordability. And what is at stake right now is affordability. That's the major star that is right now not totally aligned with the three other ones, assuming that they would be, which is not
that the supply chain? Is that the main issue?
It's
raw materials?
It's design to cost, is the fact that we need to be using raw materials for the battery cells, which are not scarce, because as long as they are scarce, there is a lot of potential inflation and volatility.
Let me ask you something, and I know Andrew's going to have an interest in this. Consolidation within the industry. You told me out there, it's coming at some point. When you look into the future, where is that? When does that happen?
It is going to be triggered by a very simple statement that everybody will understand. We have to find a way to sell BEVs at the price of ICEs. That's quite simple. To fix the affordability problem, we need to be finding a way to design to cost our products so that you sell BEVs at the price of ICEs. That is going to put extreme pressure on our companies, not only on the supply chain.
In other words, if you can't do it, you're not going to survive.
Somebody will. And the guys who are now ready to offer that in the world, not in the US, but in the world, are the Chinese. The Chinese are able.
So you think there's a merger to be done with the Chinese? Do you think that the U.S. government would ever allow that? The Europeans would ever allow that?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the guys now, the Chinese, have a 30% competitive edge on X-Works, on their BEVs. So they are able to sell their products with one segment gap, which means you sell a C-segment car at the price of a B-segment, which solves the problem of affordability. Now, what is going to be their stance?
And all these governments are putting tariffs on everything to prevent that.
Exactly, but that will generate inflation inside of the bubble.
Right.
If you do that, inflation inside of the bubble will make things worse rather than better. This country has seen the Japanese invasion in the 70s, then the Koreans. Are you going to see a third wave of Asians, which would be the Chinese? I don't know. I'm opening the question. But what I can tell you is that they are able to sell their BEVs at the price of ICEs. So we need to hurry up. We need to do our job, our homeworks, to make sure that we do the same thing. Of course, the governments can protect their companies with a golden share. That's absolutely obvious and absolutely fair. This being said, if we don't fix this for the consumer, recognizing that our mission is to deliver clean, safe, and affordable mobility, then we are vulnerable, and the Stellantis will not fall in that trap, I can tell you.
Carlos, we've only got about a minute left, but I wanted you to tell these guys what you told me outside. I said, look into the crystal ball, and what do you see in terms of consolidation? And you gave me a number of major automakers that you think we're eventually headed towards. Tell these guys what you see, looking down the road, and I don't know if you outside, was that 10 years you're looking down the road?
Yes, I think that given this pressure on affordability, 10 years down the road, possibly in the planet there will be around 5 big car makers in the world, around 5. Stellantis will be one of them. I can tell you I'm very confident about what our people are doing. By the way, congratulations to them. But around 5, that's the number.
Hi guys, welcome back. Now, oddly enough, one of the things he mentioned was 500 miles of range. Who already boasts that? Who already has that much range? Who's that, guys? Yes, you guessed it right. Us, that's who. he also spoke about there will be 5 manufacturers when the dust has settled. King William Lee spoke in lines with that in the past. Now they're saying the same thing that he's saying. This is why I have such confidence in NIO, and I hold with diamond hands and keep buying whatever little I can buy. I also said that my price point is $8. Now you'll hear anything over 8 I stop buying. It drops below 8, I keep buying. And another person that comes on my channel, he's not a subscriber, was saying to me, why don't you buy past 8? I like buying low. That's all. You guys do what you think is best for you. Now, listen to what this individual here had to say. Well, let me say this first. Notice that the Stellantis CEO also said, and I spoke about this in the past, oddly enough, in the past I also spoke about this, where I said the same way the Japanese took over the automotive industry and Toyota became the biggest at one point, that the Chinese revolution is now here and the sun is rising in the east again. Now he said, basically said it in a smart way, that and in a way that where they have to stop them. They have to stop the Chinese. The only way for them to do that is through tariffs, trade wars, etc., etc., or to innovate faster than NIO and the rest of the market, the Chinese market like BYD, etc., etc. NIO will dominate the landscape because we have the only winning business model. And I just remember this. I saw a young African-American brother with his Tesla yesterday. True story, true story. This was in Westchester, PA. He was charging early in the morning. And I pull up, I already knew the answer, but I wanted to see if he would tell the truth or try to pretend to be optimistic. I said, young man, I said, how long does it take to charge this? He said, 40 minutes for a full charge. I said, really? He said, yeah, man. I said, I used the F word. He said, tell me about it, man. And I drove away. You see, it's a basic common sense. The people who are buying these EVs that don't have access to battery swapping, and when they realize that their EV is worthless after 8 years, they will never buy that EV again. This is what the Stellantis CEO failed to admit to or speak about. So, one analyst on Investor Place wrote a report yesterday. He said, do it. Slap down $6 and buy bargain price NIO stock. NIO's upcoming flagship electric sedan should get investors excited about NIO stock. NIO's ET9 flagship sedan will reportedly be available with a powerful long-range battery. The battery we just spoke about. That Stellantis is saying that, that will be one of the game changers. We already have the game changer, boy. Now, NIO is teaming up, listen to this, and I spoke about this before, with BYD and other Chinese companies to form a battery manufacturing consortium. Remember, I spoke about this in one of my video, guys. This is why when people come on my channel and say, Mitch, how can you stay optimistic when the share price is falling? I say, pull your pants up, man. Pull your pants up. Even the lioness on my channel, they come and they have more heart than men because they have vision, they think like an investor, and they see the future. Don't look at the share price. This is why my share price on Charles Schwab, which used to be TD Ameritrade, is $3.53. Because when I bought this stock, the day they came on the stock market at $14, that's the price I bought them at. And they tanked. I kept buying because I see the vision. I behaved like a lion and I feed like the great Warren Buffett, Oracle of Omaha, said, when the market is fearful, we feed. And he also said that the stock market is a tool for taking money away from the impatient and giving it to the patient. So most people, and I'm not going to get off topic too much here, but JP Morgan, as you all know, came out and said what they said, that it's valued, it should only be $5, it's a sell. JP Morgan also did this with Bitcoin and said, if anybody buys Bitcoin, Jamie Dimon said this, I will fire them that work for me. Bitcoin tanked, and then he himself jumped in and bought, and he never paid a penalty, he never went to jail. So what I say to you guys is, don't get angry about it, use it to your advantage. When these animals come out and say things like this, it is also to give you an opportunity to buy. So, NIO is teaming up with BYD and other Chinese companies to form a battery manufacturing consortium. And this was encouraged by the Chinese government. Remember, I said this about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, that the Chinese government met with the Chinese EV manufacturers to get them to partner up, to merge together, to do business together and stop fighting each other. And now with this meeting, we see the fruition. Just like I said, all of the partnerships that NIO is doing, you're not going to see the results right away. Like people always say to me, Mitch, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When are we going to see results from this or results from that? We have to give it time for the chips to fall into place. The partnership signing is the first stage. But you have to think like an investor and don't have the welfare mindset. Don't have that instant gratification mindset because they sign something in paper, tomorrow you should see fruition. No, it takes time. Like this year when we build out another 1,000+ battery stations. And of course, we know right now it's winter in China, so manufacturing slowed down, especially because of the holidays. But in April, we're going to see a huge uptick in battery swap stations again, and the amount of revenue we'll be getting from this. So, NIO stock analysis, my NIO stock analysis, according to this analyst, concludes that investors should consider buying it anywhere near $6. Because of ongoing economic problems in China, electric vehicle manufacturer NIO hasn't been a darling of the US financial markets lately. But we all know that's propaganda. Because they're claiming it's because of the Chinese economy and they're only beating down NIO. Why are they doing that? While they prop up Li Auto and stuff, knowing it's not a winning business model. Because they're doing the same thing they did before. The same JP Morgan analyst who propped up NIO and said it should be $40, $50 when we were producing way less, and got people to buy, and they sold, and then they pulled the rug out and they beat the stock back down, knowing fully well it's a winning business model. So it's the same thing they're doing yet again. They're claiming, oh, it's because of the Chinese economy. Yet, during the Davos summit, I said this in one of my videos, excuse me guys, that one of the people representing China said that one of the industry that's going to help the Chinese economy this year is the EV industry, the technology industry. This is why China is putting so much emphasis towards the EV industry. But here in the West, JP Morgan, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, they all pretend to not know this. And they say, well, it's because of the economy we're downgrading NIO. But we're not going to downgrade BYD, we're not going to downgrade Li Auto, we're not going to downgrade all of the other EV manufacturers that don't have a winning business model like NIO. Why is it that NIO is a winning business model? Battery as a service. I just explained, when that EV is worthless after 8 years, do you think they're going to buy another one of those EV companies? And a lot of them, as you see just recently, I'm not going to call no names, Tesla, excuse me guys, they just had yet another recall. How many recalls do you see coming from NIO? A lot of us, I know we're impatient sometimes. Oh, why don't we release the sub-brand quickly? We make sure everything lines up. Perfection. Customer service first. Anyway, They say it has the potential to rebound sharply, NIO, in the next couple of years. Sharply in the next couple of years. And you see, let me also say this, guys. A lot of people who buy stocks, they have no clue. They just buy it. They did not even know why the stock went down yesterday, and they start selling as well. This is the majority of what's happening and has been happening. They did not even know that JP Morgan said what they said. When JP Morgan said what they said, some people panic and sold, and then people who don't even know what's happening see the price go down and they also sell. And I always say to people, why are you selling? Is the company going out of business? And if the answer is no, buy more. Like the great Warren Buffett said, it's on sale. So, he said NIO's electric executive flagship sedan, the ET9, is coming in 2025, and it will be a key growth driver for the company. The only thing this analyst forget to mention was the sub-brands, and we're going to be selling in the tens of thousands. Anyway, plus, as you may have heard, China's government is directly intervening in the country's stock market. That's positive news for China's business general and for NIO in particular. And with what he's talking about is they're going to go after the shorts. You see, here in the West, we want to make money any way possible, even if it's destroying a company, and we wonder why we're falling behind China. We wonder why we're falling behind China. In China, they're saying you can't short a stock and cause the demise of a company that could be a giant that will help the economy, employ people. Here in the West, we said, oh, no, no, no. Make money any way you can. Even if it's by pretending you slip and fall and file a lawsuit. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. I've said it before in my channel. I don't sugarcoat nothing for no one. I don't bite my tongue. In China, they're saying, if you short a company, we're coming after you. And this should also be the law here in America and the West. But no, see here, we want instant gratification and quick money. This demonic behavior must change in order for us to catch up to China. Our way of suppressing China, our way of growing and continuing to be the leader is to suppress China. Imagine that. Not by innovating faster than them, not by making education affordable for our children. No, 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 no. Let's stop the competition. That's their mentality. Anyway, that's positive news for China business in general and for NIO in particular. So let's jump right in and delve into some of NIO's latest and most exciting developments. NIO is already showing impressive delivery growth with the company's currently available vehicles amazingly. And remember, we're the leader in the premium segment in China. People forget this. Some people say, well, Mitch, they put comments, you know, the trolls. Well, why aren't they selling a lot of cars? We are the leader in the premium segment. And when we come out with the sub-brand, what do you think will happen? Booyaka. Now, deliveries increased by 30.7% year over year. Then in January 2024, NIO EV deliveries grew 18.2% year over year to 10,055 units. Not too shabby for just 1 month's time. How will NIO build upon its success? The answer lies within the automaker's aforementioned upcoming electric sedan, the ET9. One report states that the ET9 will include more than 100 of NIO's full stack technologies. You're looking at a spaceship, a revolutionary spaceship. Yet investors and car shoppers don't have to wait until 2025 to get the power pack vehicle from NIO. A report from carnewschina.com conveyed a new detail about the currently available ET5, courtesy of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIIT. Significantly, ET5 buyers will now have a 150 kilowatt hour semi-solid state battery, the ET5. You'll have that option. This is huge. I did not even know this. Boom, boom, boom. Are you all still with me? For the people who are coming and saying, Mitch, how can you stay optimistic? I stay optimistic because of this. I do my research and due diligence. I don't have to poop in my pants. Now, furthermore, Lion will produce these powerful EV batteries. As reported by carnewschina.com, according to MIIT, information, the official CLTC range for the Neo ET5 using the new battery is 1,055 kilometers. Thus, ET5 buyers who choose the more powerful battery can anticipate a greater driving range than they would have expected with the standard 75 kilowatt hour battery. Neo's big EV battery team up. Meanwhile, there's tremendous news for Neo courtesy of electric.com and carscoops.com. Reportedly, Neo is teaming up with BYD, as I said, and other Chinese companies to form a battery manufacturing consortium. This is huge. Excuse me, guys. This is why I don't look at the stock price. This is why my average is $3.53. Other consortium members include CATL, CALB, S-Volt Energy Technology, Eve Energy, and Goshen High Tech. This all-star consortium is named the China All Solid-State Battery Collaborative Innovation Platform. This is huge win for Neo. BYD and CATL account for more than 50% of the global EV battery market. Clearly, this consortium has the potential to develop the next generation of EV batteries. Now, remember I also said in some of my past videos, I keep saying it, there will not only be partnerships, there will be mergers. Stellantis CEO kind of hinted to that in that little clip. He said there will be 5 standing and they plan to be 1. I don't know if there will be 1. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. But it could happen if they keep fighting the trade war and tariffs. Nevertheless, I also have said this. I believe when Neo comes to America, our factories will be so automated we won't have to worry about labor costs. And then they will have to come up with another excuse of why they need to stop us. Because they cannot stop an erupting volcano. The consortium also includes Chinese government entities such as the MIIT. And also, let me say this. If they keep blocking us from coming here, we will continue to flood Europe just like the Toyota did. And we will get left behind here in America and then eventually have to tell them, okay, you can come because we will be left in the dark ages. Neo will have access to tremendous resources in the field of EV battery technology. Neo stock analysis. You wish you had bought it at $6. Neo is already growing its pace of EV deliveries. The ET5 with a more powerful battery should continue to be a strong seller. Plus the upcoming ET9 could take Neo's EV delivery growth to a whole new level. Besides, it's great news for Neo. And let's also, he didn't mention this, but we're going into more markets this year. Anyway, besides, it's great news for Neo that the automaker is part of China All-Star EV Battery Technology Consortium. Therefore, my Neo stock analysis concludes that if it's anywhere near $6 or even if it's $7 or $8, who also said that? Me, that's who. It makes perfect sense to buy a few shares right now. Mic drop moment. The man is saying the same thing that I said. Anything from $8. And again, I say to that subscriber who came and said, well, he was always trying to discredit me in a slick way. Well, why won't you buy it if it goes over $8? I like buying low, son. You do what you need to do. So, along with what this gentleman just said, sorry if this video is a little long, guys, but it's a Saturday. Along with what this gentleman just said, he forgot to mention the sub-brands and how much deliveries we'll be putting out in the tens of thousands, according to King William Lee, which I believe. Along with us going into the Firefly going into Europe as well, and they're running parallel with each other, testing in the same time frame. So perhaps that Firefly will not be released in 2025, but 2024. You heard it here first. Along with all the partnerships, along with the spin-offs, what do you guys think is going to happen this year? This is your last chance to buy at this level and to keep buying while others are shitting in their pants and running to the hills. This is your chance to think like an investor, not part of the instant gratification welfare culture. If you are not part of that instant gratification welfare culture or demonic behavior of shorting companies to make money, of destroying in order to fill your pockets, you are on the right channel. If you guys found this video to be informational, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Because in this channel, My goal is to wake up the middle class to get a piece of the pie. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.